And in Romania, they only have to convince one person, a judge. At least in the United States, they have to convince 12 people. Okay, it's happened. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan have been formally charged. Pretty much everyone who's following the case or has followed Andrew and Tristan knew this was going to happen. They knew it was going to happen. They mentioned it in the BBC interview, and they mentioned it in the Valuetainment interview with Patrick Bet-David. It's nothing new, and let's get into this here from USA Today. Andrew Tate and his brother charged with human trafficking, rape in Romania. All right, let's watch this video real quick here.
Everybody knows I'm innocent. That's fine.
Out there boxing yourself, Andrew. You're getting closer to the truth. Keep looking into this. Ask the politicians, ask the judges. You're getting closer.
Okay, this is old. Yeah, that's old. Okay, now let's use a little bit of logic here. You know, if someone is doing all these illegal things, they say the greatest trick the devil has ever pulled off is making people believe that he doesn't exist, right? Meaning that if you're up to no good and you're doing things that, if found, are going to get you in trouble, you don't want anyone to know. You know, kind of like the super rich people of the world or the mobsters of the world, right? Kind of the same thing. But anyway, you don't want anyone to know. Now, if you go basically everywhere and talk about all you've done and all you have and make some of the most powerful people in the world angry, while you're doing stuff that's going to land you in jail, then you're either the stupidest person in the world or you feel you have nothing to hide, that you've done nothing wrong. We all know that there's so many laws in the books here in the US and in Romania and everywhere that they can probably find something on pretty much anyone. That said, once you were arrested, would you be telling reporters, ask the judge, ask this person, ask that person? Our society is under attack, not just in the US, but globally. Why are they going after the nuclear family? I think there's a lot of studies that say that mom and dad raising children is best for our society. But, you know, if you have two guys or two girls raising a kid, you know, if those people are people of character, honest people with values, then they can raise a child with those same morals and that character, and who will become a productive member of our society. At the end of this video, I'll link another video I did about MAPS, minor attracted people, and another way that they're attacking our society, our children, which is the future of our society. But anyway, they're attacking the family, they're attacking children, and they're attacking men who want to support other men. They're attacking strong men because strong men stand up for what's right. They defend their families, they defend their values, and they don't take crap from other people. They're honest, they're hardworking, and they want justice. They want what's good for not just themselves and their family, but for everyone. And that's precisely who's under attack. And whatever person tries to elevate, whether it's, you know, the family, raising children with morals and values, whether it's helping men become stronger and take their proper place in society, is vilified, is attacked. I mean, we've seen it with the former president. We're seeing it with them. We're seeing it with Tucker Carlson. We're seeing it with James O'Keefe. The list goes on and on and on. And there's a lot of other people like me, like other small creators, who are taking a risk. But we can't be quiet any longer. We can't be silent any longer. We have to speak. We have to use our voice for something. And like I said, small creators like me can be canceled just like that. I mean, luckily there's other outlets now like Twitter and Rumble. If you're watching on something other than those two, consider looking there for content like this. We're under attack. And yes, while many people do object to the Tate brothers, at least at the beginning, the way they made money with cam girls and stuff like that. You know, you can raise questions about that, but it wasn't illegal. as far as this goes, the brothers knew this was going to happen because prosecutors and the government, they don't like looking like fools, and they have a lot of time and they have all the money in the world, and they'll just throw stuff at you. I mentioned in other videos, I mean, I was in prison. I had to go through basically what they're going now as far as the system. Mine was in the US, not in Romania, but tactics are the same. They'll throw a bunch of stuff at you and see if they can make something stick. And in Romania, they only have to convince one person, a judge. At least in the United States, they have to convince 12 people, right? Our peers. But there, they only have to convince one person. They don't even have to convince them. Sometimes they just have to buy them. So they throw all this stuff at you. At the very least, they'll make you spend a lot of money, maybe bankrupt you, and definitely smear your name, because I found out that there's a lot of people that just take the government at their word. They read something in letters. Oh, this person was arrested for doing this or that. That's what they read. A lot of times they don't even get into the article. And when they do get into the article, they often don't get all the way to the bottom where it says allegedly. And we say, obviously it doesn't apply in Romania, but here in the US, innocent until proven guilty. But that may be in the court of law, but in the court of public opinion, it's not like that. And the government knows that, and the prosecutors know that. But with the Tate brothers, it's not working. Just like it's not working with other people here in the US. It's making them more famous. And I think that, yes, it has to do with them, but it also has to do with an awakening society. People are waking up. And now when the government says, hey, look over here, we immediately look in the other direction, right? At least more and more of us are starting to do that. There's still a lot of people, too many people, will take the government at their word and not ask any questions. I understand, people have lives. I mean, right now I've got, I should be working. And in the back of my mind, I got all these things I have to do because unfortunately, this doesn't pay the bills yet, right? Yet. You guys are going to subscribe and like. Anyway, I understand if you have a life and you have work and you have kids and you have all this stuff, but maybe in the car, listen to a podcast on one of your trips. If not on the way home, on the way to work. Don't listen to music. Listen to something opposite to what you think. Somebody on the other side. I do it. I still do it. Obviously, I have sources that from a while of listening to them, I've decided that are trustworthy, and they're sources that I listen to, but I still double check. I still verify, or at least I'll deliberately look when they say, hey, this is this way. I'll look to see, well, what's the other side saying? My experience with the justice system opened my eyes up to a lot. There's a reason why, 95 or more % of federal cases end in a plea agreement. It's not because the people who are entering into a plea agreement actually are guilty of what they're pleading to. It's because they feel it's their only option. It's the lesser of two evils. In my case, I said, hey, after, I was saying, hey, I didn't do this. They tell you, okay, you can fight it. This is verbatim what they told me, what the prosecutor told me. He says, you're going to be going up against the full force and resources of the United States government. What would you do if they tell you that? And they want to close the case. They're not going to let you off. What are you going to do? And that's why so many people plea. It's not to get off on a lesser charge. It's because they feel it's the only way that they can have some kind of life after. Luckily for the Tate brothers, they have a lot of resources. And they'll be able to fight this. And I think that in the end, maybe they'll pay a fine or something like that. But the government's going to get their pound of flesh. I mean, they're going to get something. They're not going to let it just go. So I think the future looks bright for the Tate brothers. I think they're excited to be able to prove their innocence. Let's read a little bit about what this article says. Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were charged with rape, human trafficking, and forming a criminal gang to exploit women, Romanian officials said Tuesday. Prosecutors filed the charges against the two brothers and two Romanian women in Bucharest, the capital of Romania, Romania's anti-organized crime agency, DICOT, said. In a statement, the agency said the four defendants formed a criminal group in 2021 in order to commit the crime of human trafficking in Romania, the United States, and Britain, the Associated Press reported. The agency said 7 female victims were misled and transported to Romania, where they were sexually exploited and subjected to physical violence, according to the statement. The agency said the victims were forced to take part in pornography and allegedly controlled by intimidation, constant surveillance, and claims that they were in debt, prosecutors said. The statement said one defendant raped one of the women twice in March 2022, the AP reported. Where were these 7 victims these last, 6 months that they had them locked up? I think they finally convinced people to take a bribe. They've been contacting thousands and thousands of people to try and find something to charge the brothers with. And I'm sure this is how it went. They go, oh, well, you knew him at this point, or you were working with them during this time. Did they do this to you? Because if they did this to you, we could put them in jail and then maybe through another lawsuit, get you some money. Or outright saying, if they did this to you, then we can compensate you like this. These women were working in the cam business. Now, maybe some of them enjoy it, but I think you would do something like that when you don't have other options. And when this business closed down, maybe they need money. They're susceptible to bribes. But I just find it curious that they waited till now. I think maybe even they pressured witnesses to say. It wouldn't be the first time a witness was coerced into saying something that the government wanted them to say. Anyway, I think that in the end, the brothers will be found maybe not guilty, but guilty of a much, much lesser charge. They'll basically do like a plea agreement. If it was a trial by jury, then I would say that they would be maybe acquitted, that they would be able to prove to a jury of their peers that this was all the government and they're made up charges. The problem here is that in Romania, there's only one person deciding your fate. And that's why I think the Tates and their lawyers will probably look to come to some sort of an agreement. But those are my thoughts on this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.